YouTube and also by way of phone and podcast. We want to talk from this subject. Guess who's coming to dinner? Guess who's coming to dinner? For those of us who have my cell number, please text that to me. Guess who's coming to dinner? For those of us who are hearing me by YouTube, put that on the screen. Guess who's coming to dinner? And we greet you in the joy that Jesus Christ has given us all. Guess who's coming to dinner? Thank you, Deacon Wade. Guess who's coming to dinner? In 1967, before my nativity, at least 10 years, we had a movie, and some of y'all remember the movie. It featured Sidney Poitier in it. He was an African-American man. Listen at y'all on the phone. Yeah, that's right. That was an African-American man, and he was going home with this Caucasian lady. And the movie grossed, y'all know, about $50 million and counting, because in this particular role and setting, of course, it was at the height of the civil rights movement, at the height of political turmoil in America. And here you have an African-American male going home with a Caucasian lady. Years later, there was a remake, about the movie, and it starred Bernie Mac. And all of us know from my culture who Bernie Mac is, and Ashton Kutcher. And Bernie Mac had a daughter who, of course, was African American, and Ashton Kutcher, being European American, was bringing him home to dinner. So in two generations, you have a diametrically opposed relationship between a white woman and an African-American male, and an African-American woman with a white male, and they're coming to dinner. Today, we do not want to play upon the racial discrimination or the discriminatory practices of both eras and times. But here in this text, in Luke's gospel, guess who's coming to dinner? Maybe Aunt Mamie, Shirley, Charlie Mae, you do not know who's Mother Sandiford, who's coming, Ella, to dinner. So let me introduce you to the man who's coming to dinner. Do y'all have a few minutes for me to introduce y'all to this man who's coming to dinner? Well, let me introduce you to this man who's coming to dinner. He not only walked on the streets, he made the streets. That's who's coming to dinner. He not only was talked about in the Word said he was the Word. That's who's coming to dinner. He's not only a man who eats bread, he will be bread in a starving land. Guess who's coming to dinner? He's not only one who would sleep on a ship, but he was one who made wood, water, and waves and wind for the ship to ride through. Guess who's coming to dinner? Maybe y'all still don't know. I'm getting excited already because I'm talking about Jesus. Guess who's coming to dinner? In Luke's gospel, guess who's coming to dinner? They said they would wrap him up in swaddling clothes and lay him in a manger. Guess who's coming to dinner? The stars, the celestial stars, would park themselves over that crib, that feeding trough, that barn house in Bethlehem. The angels would come to the balcony of heaven, the old preacher would say, and shout, "Peace on earth, goodwill toward men," because of the person who was coming to dinner. They would take him at 8 days old, Adrian Hambrick, take him to the temple, and Simeon would hold him and wait to just hold on to him. And Anna the prophetess would talk to everybody about him, because guess who's coming to dinner? That's all in chapter 1, y'all, early in the Luke's gospel. You got 23 more chapters to figure out who it is who's coming to dinner. Let me just pause right there. Yes, thank you, Shirley Moore. Introduce him. I hope that was a good enough introduction of who's coming to dinner. This is no ordinary person. This is no ordinary Joe Blow. This is no Nuck and Ray and Pookie Man. This is Jesus Christ. This is the Son of God. This is the way maker. This is the heart fixer. This is the mind regulator. This is our bridge over troubled waters. This is our shelter in a time of storm. Guess who's coming to dinner? And I'm grateful today that in this particular passage, these men do not recognize him that they are walking with. Let me just pause right there. Take me a sip of water and say this. It is possible to be in church and still not recognize Jesus. It is possible to be walking with Jesus and not recognize him. There are some times in our life, guess what? All of us have had a season where we put Jesus on the back burner. We have not always lived for God, always lived right, always woke up praying and singing and shouting and made Jesus first priority. We've all had a season where we did not recognize him. But let me just shout, y'all, for me, if not for y'all. I am grateful for all the folks that was praying for me when I wasn't praying for myself. I am grateful for all the folks who could recognize that I needed Jesus before I did. I am grateful for the firm foundation that people laid out for me to make me recognize, hey son, there's going to come a point in your life where you're going to have to trust God for what you need. It's not going to be your car. It's not going to be your crib. It's not going to even be your clothes. It's not going to be even the company you keep. You're going to have to find your own relationship with Jesus. Is there anybody on the phone, anybody on YouTube who can just thank God today for Jesus recognizing me when I didn't recognize him? When I was walking in my dark place, when I was walking in a dangerous place, when I was walking in a dank place, Jesus pulled up and walked with me. And now I can sing that song while I'm on this tedious journey. Lord, won't you just, anybody know that old song? I just want Jesus to walk with me. Then they said, be my friend, Lord. Be my friend. Guess who's coming to dinner? These men have walked with Jesus, y'all, 7 miles. These men have heard the word from Jesus beginning from Moses and the prophet. These men have now had Jesus reveal himself to them in a manner in which they can receive him. I know I'm going fast, y'all. I get excited about preaching, so let me just slow down right there and let me just throw this in the chili real fast, in the pot of greens, in the stew. Ella B, here it is. Jesus Christ knows how to make you see him when you could not see him. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm shouting, and I'm going to say that again. I promise you, I wish we was face to face so we could high five or at least look at each other. Jesus knows how to reveal himself to us when we cannot recognize him. Yes, it is. These men have walked with him, and now they finally get to the house. Let me just throw this on the pot, y'all. Throw this in the chili. Is your house a house Jesus can come to? Yes, I'm gonna say it again. Are you living any type of way where Jesus might not feel comfortable coming home with you? Yes, hey man, I'm not trying to throw stones, but let's just be honest. Is your house, is your life in any condition where Jesus said, oh, well, I'll stay with you for tonight. Or would you be like some of us and say, Jesus, maybe tomorrow night, but not tonight. I got some things I got going on tonight, Jesus. I just don't need you to see. Y'all come on in here, have some church, and let's be some real people up in here. Is your house in tip-top shape where you can invite Jesus in as a guest? And now, let me not even talk about your lifestyle. Let me just talk about having a nasty house. I mean, house dirty. House ain't clean. House ain't kept. Dishes still in the sink. Pinto beans need to be thrown out. House just smell real awful and bad. Now, some of y'all, well, yeah, he can come into my house because I ain't doing nothing. That's right, you ain't doing nothing. Would you please clean up your house? Would you vacuum? Would you sleep? Would you sweep? Would you make sure your house is kept up enough for Jesus to come into your house? Guess who's coming to dinner? Mary was able to see Jesus but not invite him home after the resurrection. The other women were able to see Jesus and not invite him home after the resurrection. Peter was able to see Jesus and not invite him home after the resurrection. But here it is, Jesus wants to go home with somebody, and now these men have made it possible for Jesus to go home to them. They get to the house. He's wanting to go a little further. And guess what, y'all? Let me just say this. Maybe Jesus knows. No, Jesus always knows what we don't know about a person. And maybe that's why Jesus wanted to go a little further. But guess what? They constrained him. They compelled him. Jesus, we need you to go with us just a little further because we need you to come home with us. Here it is in this text. Jesus Christ himself needs a place to reside. And in this particular place, Jesus Christ is going home with them. Well, yeah, I looked at this passage and I know I'm running out of time, y'all. My time gets past me so fast. I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to get into this particular passage and deal with the fact that Jesus goes home with him. Jesus said something earlier in his life and ministry that is worth denoting. Charlie May, he said this: foxes have holes and birds have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. Yes, Jesus needed somewhere that night just to lay down. Yes. So let me just pose this question for some of y'all. Thank you. Here it is. When we are in dark places, when we are in damaging and dooming places, is there a place where we can call home? I'm going to say it again. Come on, y'all. Help me preach up in here in the podcast, on /broadcast, on YouTube, and by telephone. When we get to a dangerous place, a dark place, a damaging place, do we have a place we can call home? I'm going to say it again. I'm so grateful. I don't care how drunk and high I got. If I could just stagger my way back to my grandmother's house. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Amen. I thank God for somebody who left the door open. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I need a few people in here to reach down memory lane and thank God for mamas and grandmamas who left the light on. Anybody other than me who can shout today when you don't even know how you got home. You found yourself awakened in the bed, don't even know how you got there because somebody left the light on. Oh, shucks, y'all. I feel like preaching now when I'm in my dark place, when I'm in my damaging and doomed place. I got somebody who left the light on. Here it is. These men said, Jesus, come on in here with us. Jesus walks with them. They find rest. And here's my good shouting point for my just get me to the next point in my sermon. Donna Fox said, y'all on YouTube, he carried me. That's right, Donna. He will carry you through. He will carry you. Yes, yes. Shirley Boyd just said he helped me when I couldn't even find my key. That's right. God will be the key. He'll open the door, and when you don't even recognize what door you walking in. Thank God for that. But here it is. I've learned this through this passage. You said, what is it, Pastor? I've learned this, that the voice and the vision of God is magnified in your dark place. Can anybody say amen today? It seems like this, Deacon Wade. The darker it gets, the louder and the lighter God's voice becomes. See, some of y'all ain't never been into a place where you needed God to speak real good to you because you had too much worldly light and too much success. But there comes a point in your life where you have to, God has to allow some things to get dim and dark in your life. And then his voice becomes so much louder and his vision becomes so much lighter. These people had arrived at the house. They gave Jesus a place of rest. So we can make the assertion, listen at this, we can make the assertion, Mother Sandiford, we can make the assertion, Ella B, that revelation can happen when Jesus is in a resting place. You can rest assured that God is going to reveal himself when he has a place to rest in your life. We can provide a place of rest. Revelation will happen when we create an atmosphere for rest and rejuvenation. Then we can expect revelation. These men compelled Jesus to stay with them. These men coerced Jesus. These men constrained Jesus. Yes, they did. These men, they had a way of compelling Jesus to stay with him. Well, what is some of the gist of this particular passage? Well, these men, number one, these men, they were good house guests. Let me pause and say that again. For you note takers, somebody on the text message texted to me and by YouTube, these men were good house guests. Yeah, they were house guests, y'all. They were house guests. You know, some people, you just can't go over their house. I don't care. They might have a lot of money, but they won't talk to you, won't offer you nothing to drink, won't just sorry. I'm talking about sorry, just sorry. I mean, you would think won't ask you, would you like to sit down? I mean, you're running to certain people who think they just bougie, all that in a bag of chips. You know what? You really can't stand them. And the only way you really around them, because guess what? They really make you laugh. Because you just can't believe some people would act the way they act. But these men were good house guests. They welcomed Jesus in their home. They didn't feel comfortable, listen at this, allowing Jesus just to wander all night through the streets. Oh, they didn't feel comfortable. No, Aunt Mamie, especially the streets of Emmaus. No. But Jesus was accepted into their house. And guess what? They were good house guests, and he accepted the invitation. Let me just shout right there, y'all. This is going to be a pretty long sermon. Just give me about 12 more minutes, Ella B, and I promise y'all, shut it down. My time is up. But guess what? Here it is. He accepts the invitation to stay. Now let me just ask, just me and Ella B, we just want to ask y'all, if you invited Jesus over, would he stay? Would he stay with you? Would he just come in and stay? I mean, would he accept your invitation? Here it is. These men were good house guests. And guess what, y'all? Here's what I love about it. They made him feel relaxed. How do I know? He accepted the invitation, and then his actions insinuated relaxation because he reclined. Yes, don't miss that in the text, y'all. I wish we were personal. He reclined. The text said, he reclined. Can anybody shout recline? Just recline. He reclined. He relaxed. He laid back. There you go. He relaxed. They were good house guests. He reclined at the table. Reclining at the table meant he was relaxed and received their hospitality. Yes, he was a good house. They were good house guests, host, and Jesus was a good house guest. They were look, and you say, well, Pastor, who was the host and who was the guest? It really doesn't matter, but guess what? Anytime you in God's presence, you ain't the host, you always the guest. Y'all just missed y'all shout. Y'all just missed y'all shout because somebody's gonna argue now, Pastor, they were the host and Jesus was the guest. No. Anytime you in the presence of God, baby, you ain't never the host. You are nothing but the guest. Here it is. Somebody mute your phone on the back end. I'm grateful you in your car or outside, but just mute your phone. Here it is. Not only were they good house guests, number two, they had something to give. I'm shouting, y'all. I'm sorry for the shout, but I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down. I'm not standing up. I'm sitting down. I just got to clap my hands. They had something to give. These men gave what they had. And let me just pause right there. Whoever's on this phone, quit trying to compare your giving to somebody else's. Guess what? You can only give what you have. You can only give what you have. If you don't have a car, you can't give a car. If you ain't got 1,000, you can't give 1,000. And some of us got more cars and more thousands and only give a dime. Oh, come on in here, somebody. I have found some of the stingiest people to have some of the most in their life. Let me just pause right here and say Jesus said it best. He said it one day. He got to the temple of the last week of his life. He saw everybody putting in that money and they came by, and that woman came in and didn't have nothing but 2 mites, but she gave it. It didn't look like much to them. Aunt Mamie, they was talking about her. Oh, that girl, she need to keep that. Jesus don't need that. The church don't need that. Let me tell you something. It ain't about what the church needed, what Jesus needed. That's what the woman needed. She needed God to be her all in all. She needed God to create surplus. She needed God to be overflow. And somebody must have taught her what y'all taught me. You cannot be God giving no matter how hard you try. Oh, yes, they had something to give. And guess what they gave? Here it is. Charlie May, here's the shout for me and you. They gave Jesus what he was. Yep. What did they? That's right. That is. Don't ever give the Lord what he is. Don't ever give the Lord what he is. The Lord is praise. You start giving him praise. They said the praises go up. Blessings start coming down. They gave Jesus bread. Bread. Somebody say bread. I said bread. Just bread. They gave him bread. Bread was needed for miracles in the past and would be used for a miracle in this present. Somebody shout bread. Bread was used in the desert to feed a multitude. Somebody shout bread. Bread was used to teach a lesson about the hypocrisy of religious leaders. Somebody shout bread. Bread was used to institute the Lord's Supper on that night. Somebody shout bread. Thank you, Harvey Fuker. Thank you, Yvette. Somebody shouted bread. Bread was essential for miracles. The next miracle, this miracle would come by way of bread. He took bread, y'all. I'm shouting now. I can't hold on to my chair, my table, my coffee stand, my lampstand. I ain't got nothing to hold on to, y'all. But he took bread. Aren't you glad he took bread? Yes, Linda Talley. Yes, Evelyn Neal. He took bread. Yes, he took bread. What did he do with the bread? Oh, he blessed it and he he break it. Oh my God. Not only did he bless the bread, not only did he break the bread, but he gave them the bread. Oh, y'all missing y'all shout today. I wish I could see y'all, because you got to understand. Deacon Wright, I hope you eavesdropping on my conversation this morning. Mother Wright, if he ain't beside the phone, tell him to wake up. Get up. Pastor's preaching. Here it is. Look here. Look here. By it is, but with the bread. Y'all know I'm just being silly. Look here. He blessed the bread. He break the bread. And then he gave them the bread. Okay, let me try it again, y'all. He blessed the bread. He broke the bread. And he gave them the bread. Y'all missing it. He blessed the bread. He broke the bread. He gave them the bread. You still ain't catching it. He blessed the bread. He broke the bread and gave them the bread. What are you saying, Pastor? I ought to say it 15 more times and you might catch it. But anything God puts in his hand and breaks, it ain't nothing but a blessing. Y'all missed it. I knew it. I got a shout out. See, you thinking your life was all messed up and jacked up, baby. You was broken because God was finna show you he finna bless you. You thought you needed him or her or them, but guess what? God allowed you to be broken in his hand because he could share you with people who would appreciate you. Anybody know he took bread, blessed bread, broke the bread and gave it. And not only that, they were able to hold on to their blessing. Let me just shout right there, y'all. Aren't you glad that you were able to hold on to your blessing? For those listening by broadcast, by YouTube, and by telephone, aren't you glad you're able to hold on to your blessing? Yes, I'm able to hold on to my blessing. Remember, they had something to give. They were good house guests. But then thirdly, and I'm getting out of here, they were able to hold on to what God gave them. Yes, they were. He took the bread, blessed the bread, broke the bread, passed the bread. Oh my God. Jesus blessed them through their brokenness. Am I talking to anybody today? Guess who's coming to dinner? Somebody who's got to take the brokenness in your life and turn it into a blessing. Guess who's coming to dinner? Somebody who's about to take the aggravation in your life and give you authority. Guess who's coming to dinner? Somebody who's about to take the pain in your life and turn it into your power. Guess who's coming to dinner? Guess who's coming to dinner? Somebody that's about to take your sorrow and turn it into your shout. Guess who's coming to dinner? Guess who's coming to dinner? He's about to take your weeping and turn it into worship. Guess who's coming to dinner? Yes, he took bread, y'all. And I'm getting out of here. LB, my 40 minutes is up. Well, we've been on 40 minutes. And we want to thank you for being on. This morsel was needed for them to see. Yes, they did not recognize him until he broke bread. Y'all do remember, it's something about that morsel. He told Judas that night, the boys were in the upper room. Come on out, Mamie. I need you helping me now. He said the one, it was about that morsel. He broke. Come on. He said, he who dipped with me, the same has lifted up his soul unto me. Guess who is coming to dinner? He told him, what you do it quickly. Guess who's coming to dinner? He took that morsel that night in Egypt and said this bread has to be unleavened bread on that night of the Passover. Guess who's coming to dinner? Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. David went into the house of God and ate the showbread, which was unlawful, but only be for the priest. Guess who's coming to dinner? I'm out of here. Come on, Ella B. We used to sing a song in the old church. Guess who is coming to dinner? We used to say bread from heaven. Bread from heaven. Come on, y'all. Bread from heaven. Bread from heaven. I shout now. Bread from heaven. Can I say that about 5 more times? Bread from heaven. Bread from heaven. Bread from heaven. Come on, Dexter. Bread from heaven. Feed me till I want no more. Guess who's coming to dinner? He's coming. Ain't he coming? He came down through 40, 2 generations, wrapped up, swaddling clothes, laid in a manger. He came through Galilee, came through Capernaum, came through graveyards, came through funeral processionals, but came through the Villa del Rosta. They hung him high, stretched him wide, dropped his head, locks up his shoulders. But guess who's coming home to dinner? Y'all said it best. He's got salvation on his brow. He's got on his thigh the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Help me close David. Who's coming to dinner? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Guess who's coming to dinner? Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. Guess who's coming to dinner? Surely, can y'all shout with me? Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Guess who's coming to dinner? You might not know him. His name is Jesus. Emmanuel, God with us. Lily of the valley, bright morning star, Alpha, Omega, beginning, end, first, last. Guess who's coming to dinner? He's coming. Ain't he coming? I'm so glad he's coming back. I'm so glad he's coming. Ain't he coming? He's coming. May Francis, don't know if she's on the phone. He's coming for you. Ella, he's coming for you. Linda, he's coming for you. Deacon Wade Dexter, he's coming for you. I'm so glad he ain't gonna stop at y'all's house, but he's gonna come right down my street. He's gonna get me too, and I'm so glad when he get to my house, I can say my business is fixed. My mind is made up. I'm on my way to Emmanuel's land. Can somebody on this phone just holler? He's coming for me. He's coming for me. He's coming for my mom. He came. He's coming for me. Guess who's coming to dinner? Hallelujah.